patch on the Alabama face gear that the guy was wearing. I really hadn't noticed that the first time. I don't know if that was a good selection or not. Anyway, if you can recall your thought, you want to repeat it, feel free to finish that up.
Yeah, you know, the seizure, right? This huge box, you know, and again, Wester always has an explanation, right? Whether it's the baggie floating away, you know, and it's prosecuted cases, and I've actually had defendants argue the opposite, that the drugs somehow blew into my car, or counterfeit money blew into my car. So it's interesting to see law enforcement argue the opposite, that it blew away. But he has to have an explanation for this box, right? And regardless of sort of the sloppiness of the search and the seizure there, and for him to argue that, you know, he found this in a park, and, you know, he didn't tell his captain, he didn't tell his lieutenant, even though it would have been the biggest bust or drug seizure of his career. It really kind of defies all logic and credibility. But ultimately, I don't think the jury made a whole lot of it, and they really kind of based it on that body cam footage, as we discussed. But he seemed to have an answer for everything.
Yeah, and I wonder if there really was a bust. You know, did he just accumulate this from other smaller busts, or who knows, from the evidence lockers? You know, maybe that big bust was just a way to cover the fact that this guy's got a lot of junk in his trunk there. So, okay, one quick question before we wrap things up here. Sentencing is going to be a mess. I haven't gone through all the different charges. We know that even if he'd been hit with everything, 67 charges, 20 years likely, probably 12 or 13 sentenced, less out in 8. Give me your best guess. How much time is this guy really going to do?
I mean, hopefully the judge throws the book at him, you know, and imposes the trial tax, because here's someone who, you know, under the Florida merger doctrine, you know, he's not going to look at, obviously, that 20-year max under the guidelines. But here's someone who violated the public trust, right? And it's more than the 100 or so people who were affected and all these charges that were dismissed. I mean, this is the type of law enforcement officer that causes people to distrust law enforcement, wreaks havoc in our criminal justice system. I can't tell you how many times I've prosecuted folks who said, you know, hey, they planted the drugs in my car, I had no idea, or was it me?
And it's, you know, there is certain maybe broader satisfaction that this guy's going to go down to some degree. Hey, Neama Rahmani, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Former federal prosecutor. Join me again next time. Good to see you. Okay, coming up very quickly here, Emran Ansari, night court beginning.